So in the last couple of days, you probably noticed that I haven't really done any videos at all. I'm not actually sure how long that is. I think it's probably about 2 or 3 days. And the reason for that is because I've been working a lot over definitely the past 2 days. I've also committed to doing something over the past week, which is going to further use available time that I have to do many other things. So I've been trying to reshuffle things, trying to get things fitted in to parts of my life. And this has aggravated the time demon that I've suffered with for quite some time. So with what I've been doing, I've been sat right on the edge of this. So I've been sat right on the edge. And the thing that pushes me over that boundary quite often is work, because it's the one thing that in some respects, I feel is the most time heavy, physically draining, mentally draining, emotionally draining part of my life, because it takes so much out of me when I do it. And so when I come home from work, traditionally, and I say traditionally because it's the past thing that's happened, that still happens now when I get into a certain situation, so it's not resolved. So traditionally what's happened is that I go to work and then I work very hard. Work pulls out much of my energy, much of my emotional, can't think of it. Much of it really aggravates my emotional and mental situation. And, I was, for a very long time, I was in a place where my job would aggravate a lot of things that I felt were wrong for me in my life. And it would I would feel stressed about it. I would feel ill when I came home from work. I would feel tired. So what happens is when I come home from work is that I feel stressed, tired and ill. That then means that if I've plotted things out to do, that I don't want to do them. Also means that if I'm working a long day, it adds on top of that I don't feel like I have enough time to do those things. All of those things get trapped in a cycle. And then I go unconscious about those things. I start to buy into the patterns. I start to buy into the emotions. I start to buy into the thoughts, the problems, all of the reasons why I don't want to do this, because I want to go to sleep or I want to take some rest, which I do need to take some rest. But at the same time, I'm sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul, if that makes sense. Because, I'm robbing myself of the ability to be able to deal with it, to have an opportunity to stand there in the face of whatever it is that's bothering me and actually make a decision to do something different than my patterns or my old self would have said to do. So my old self has ruled the roost for the past 2 to 3 days, and so, like I said, I've had an opportunity to be able to deal with that, to be able to see what's happening. So the funny thing is that I'm aware that this is happening. I have an awareness, and I'm aware that I have a choice in the moment to make a different decision, but I don't make the choice to make the different decision. And that indicates to me that there is still a very strong pull toward doing what my past self would have done. And so that's interesting to me. But I'm aware enough to know that this has to change, and that if this doesn't change, I don't change, my life doesn't change, and I don't go anywhere in the same way that I did before. I just exist in my old patterns. It's a cycle. And the thing that I want to put out there the most is although this is difficult to handle for me, and it's difficult to handle for a lot of people, I'll put it in, guys, for me and what it means to me. My life is my responsibility, and responsibility consists of two words: response, because you have the ability to respond in any moment, and ability, because you have the and like I said, you have the ability to respond in every moment. So you have you can respond, you can stop, you can take a look at your situation, and then you have the ability to be able to take an action, a decided action in that moment as to what you're going to respond with. What we all too often do is we react to a certain situation. And the reaction comes from our past patterning, our past issues, the things that have happened to us in the past. We say this happened because of this, and therefore I can't change it. And then we live life programmed by what's happened to us. And so what I'm wanting to do is change that for myself, because I do not believe anymore that I am programmed by my old patterns, and there's nothing that I can do about them. So with regard to that, the time demon has popped up over the past couple of days, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do to change that just yet, but I know it does have to change. I've committed to a different financial path with regard to business and everything else, and the way I'm wanting to go, and that's the direction I should be taking in order to take action to free up the time and to free up my financial situation. So that's pretty much it, guys, and hope it kind of made sense. Not a long video, but speak to you very soon.